Welcome, welcome. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Clarence Sports Talkative Jones podcast, presented by Play Progression Goals. Okay, Player Progression Goals, playprogressgo.com, YouTube Clarence Jones TV, Twitter X at underscore Clarence Jones, and Instagram underscore Clarence Jones. If you're watching on the YouTube channel today, I'm rocking the Right for Your Rights t-shirt. This was doing the WGA strike. I copped like three of these shirts with different words on it. So if you're trying to figure out what my shirt say, it says right for rights during the WGA strike. All right. By the way, if you're interested in this, working in sports, getting a job in sports, making it a career, go to my Twitter page at underscore Clarence Jones. Find the link. Look for Sports Management Worldwide. You'll see my link. You can hit that link. You get $100 off. Okay, off any course you select, and you can pick whatever course you want. You get $100 off. There's payment plans available. So again, you can be able to see that by going to my Twitter page at underscore Clarence Jones. Scroll down to my Twitter page. I believe I posted it yesterday. Look for Sports Management Worldwide. You will see it in a thread. Hit the link, sign up for a sports course, and get your sports job, get your sports career started. All right. Speaking of started, let's get started. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, they defeated my Indiana Pacers in Game 7. Our leader, Halliburton went down, but I ain't making no excuses. Thunder won it. They won it fair and square. Um, you know, they played better than us Game 7. Like I said, we didn't have our leader. I feel like if we had Tyrese Halliburton, we would have definitely won our first NBA championship. But let's get to it. Um, so after the finals, this was kind of going on during the finals as well. Hell, even probably before the finals, people were saying, "Hey, so many people is Thunder fans. Not all, but some are Thunder fans. Some are not. Some are just NBA fans of different teams. But a lot of people is already saying, yo, this 24, 25 OKC Thunder is already a way better than a 2011, 2012 OKC Thunder. And it like this been literally going on. I may have seen this from the Western Conference Finals up until getting ready for the finals, doing the finals. Because me, I'm always on Twitter, X, scrolling, trying to look for who's talking about what NBA wise, hashtag what, so I can chime in. So I say I had to chime in on this podcast because the disrespect is real, ladies and gentlemen. Um, First of all, if you're an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, you shouldn't even be letting this bother you. You shouldn't even be chiming in on picking sides. You should be happy that your team won the chip. But surprisingly, I've seen Thunder fans weighing in like, yo, hey, the 24-25 Thunder is way better than the 2011-2012 Thunder. I've seen Thunder fans, say, hey, the 2011-2012 Thunder is better than the 24-25 Thunder. I'm just like, huh? Why is OKC Thunder fans weighing in? I can understand if you're not a Thunder fan. You know what I'm saying? And you just, shooting the breeze or you just talking, but for Thunder fans to be getting into this debate, it's unnecessary. You won the chip, that's all that matters. But hell, I said, you know what? I had enough of this. I decided that I'm gonna chime in. Okay. I decided that I'm chiming in and I'm gonna lay the smackdown on this topic because the disrespect is real. And like I said, I feel like we as sports fans should just enjoy the growth of teams, seeing where teams started and seeing where they end at. But like I said, for Thunder fans to be getting involved and picking a side, come on. Come on. You just want to chill. Come on now. So I decided I'm gonna weigh in. All right. So right in front of me, I got the roster for both finals. I got the 2012 roster when the Thunder played the Heat, and I got the 25 roster when the Thunder played my Pacers. Okay. So let's dive into the roster. So first, I start with the GM. Sam Presley is still the GM. He was a GM in 2012 when the Thunder went to the final, and he's a GM. This few weeks ago. Well, hell, a week ago. Not even a few weeks ago. A week ago when they beat my Pacers. So Sam Presti, this man is a genius. The man is a genius, amazing, great general manager. To even have people debating over this topic, to have Thunder fans from 2011, 2012 mad at Thunder fans from this year because they disrespecting the 2011. You know what I'm saying? So they like to even have people rowdy up like that. If I'm Sam Press, I'm sitting back like I'm just chilling, smoking my cigar, and hey, y'all carry on. I listen. But the same general manager for both teams, both years. Okay. Now, when it comes to the coaches, Scott Brooks was the 2012 Oklahoma City Thunder coach, and Mark Danganot? I think it's Danganot, I believe. Sorry, I apologize if I pronounced that, but Coach Mark Nanganot and Coach Scott Brooks. Now, when it comes to the battle of the coaches, I'm going with Coach Mark Nanganot. I love his strategy. That man can draw up some plays on both sides of the ball. He's great with his rotations. He's great with his lineups. He's never out of line. Look calm. You couldn't tell whether they winning or losing the way he looks on the sideline. So I got to give the best coach to Coach Mark Nanganot. No disrespect to Scott Brooks. I just think Mark Danganot is just a genius, man. The dude he's like a strategy out there. Like he know the right time to call timeouts. He don't let your teams get going. Like anytime our paces would get going, he would call a timeout, walk on the court, chew his gum, turn back around, and get into the huddle and start coaching his team. And I was like, damn, dude, he would not let us get our momentum going. But so yeah, I give it to Mark Dinganot, 24-25, as far as the best coach. All right. Now let's get into this roster. Now, this roster is so crazy. As I'm writing the roster down, some of these players I don't even remember playing in this year's finals. Some of these players from the Thunder, I don't even remember seeing them. I don't remember them playing in the 2012 finals. I don't even remember some of these players on the damn bench. Okay. I don't remember some of these players that were on the bench. That's how long ago it been. And that's how much players didn't play it in these finals. All right. But let's go with the 24-25 roster. Of course, SGA, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Dort. Is it Dort? I think Dort. Jalen Williams. Who else? Who else on here? Is that Kendrick Williams? Kenrich Williams? I'm right. I roll kind of sloppy because I was actually rushing. I think it's Kenrich Williams. Look like. Yeah, I can't read my own writing. I was rushing to try to get this podcast started because I'm kind of running late. Cason Wallace, Harnstein, Alex Caruso, Dylan Jones, Jalen Williams, may pronounce this wrong, Asumu Dang, Adam Flagler, AJ Mitchell, Chet Holmgren, Brandon Carson, Alex Dukas, and Nikola Topic. A lot of these players for Thunder didn't even play. Only a few did, but not a whole lot. Like I said, some of these players didn't even play. Okay. All right, let's go to the 2011-2012 OKC Thunder roster. All right. Cole Aldrich, Nick Collison, Daquan Cook, Kevin Durant, Derek Fisher, James Harden, Lazar Hayward, Serge Ibaka, Royal Ivy, Reggie Jackson, Eric Maynard, Nazir Muhammad, Kendrick Perkins, Ryan Reed, Dabo Cephalosha, and Russell Westbrook. Okay. Even a lot of the players that I just named from the 2012 roster, a lot of players didn't play. But since we debating about it, Thunder fans, you shouldn't even be involved in it, but you should let people that's not Thunder fans debate about it. You should be just like, hey, we got a chip. That's all I care about. But since we debating about it, I got to go with the 2011-2012 OKC Thunder roster. Okay, if we're talking about who is the best roster, who can beat who in a game of best of 7, okay, a best of 7, hopefully, it goes to 7. But if we're talking best of 7, first to 4 wins, I'm going with the 2012 OKC Thunder to beat the 24-25 Thunder in 6 games, not even 7, ladies and gentlemen. I'm picking 6. Okay. I just think this team is better. You know what I'm saying? From defense wise, I mean, Serge Ibaka, Cephalosha, Reggie Jackson, even offense, I'm saying a mixture. James Harden, of course, KD, Russell Westbrook. You know, I just don't see how this year's Thunder team would beat the 2012 Thunder in the best of seven. And even some matchups, I think would be really cool. Like some matchups, like let's say SGA on Cephalosha guarding SGA, Serge Ibaka guarding Jalen Williams, Reggie Jackson. He could have played some D as well. He was very good on the defense side of the ball as well as offense too. But these are matches I would love to see. And even going back to the 25 roster for Thunder, I think Caruso could, not really stop KD, but he can cause some problems. Caruso, Dort can cause some problems with Russell Westbrook, James Harden. So this would be a good series. Okay, because like I say, both teams got those defensive stoppers that can give their best players some problems, slow them down. Well, let's not get it twisted. Nobody from the 2012 roster is stopping the SGA. Nobody from the 25 roster is stopping the Kevin Durant. But these rest of these matchups, like I say, you put Caruso on KD, he can slow him down. You put Serge Ibaka on SGA or Serge, because remember, Serge Ibaka could have not only defended paint, he could have stepped out and guard that perimeter as well. So he could have hang with SGA. Now maybe SGA put some cross moves on him here and there, shake him up and bake him. You know what I mean? But even Cephalosha. So this will be something fun to watch. And even coming off the bench, I think the 2012 Thunder roster got the better bench. You got James Harden coming off the bench, which that should have never been happening, but I see why they did it. But you know what I'm saying? You got Reggie Jackson come off the bench. So those two alone, they liable to put up between 15 to 20 points on a good night, on a great night. They can even put up 25 to 30, even 40. Now we see what Jalen Williams did in the finals against my Pacers with that game. Was that game 2? I think he did. He put up 40. Was that game 5? It might have been game 5 when he put up 40, I think. But so, like I said, both teams have those players that can turn it up. You know what I'm saying? But I think the 2012 Thunder is a better roster. They would beat them in the best of 7. But look, let's not get it twisted. Both rosters are great. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be no debate going on about who's the better, the better team. And the 25 Thunder did it. Why didn't the 2012 Thunder did it? Excuse me? Do you not know who the hell they played in the NBA Finals? LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and the crew. That's what Mike Miller. What's the guy name? I can't think of. Is it Karab Butler or something like that? I can't think of the guy name. He was Battier. Shane Battier. Yeah, Shane Battier. I'm saying Butler. But they had a squad. Their bench was good. And that 2012 Thunder team just wasn't as best than the 2012 Heat. This 25 Thunder roster wouldn't stand a chance with LeBron and that 2012 roster. You know what I mean? Hell, that 25 roster wouldn't have got gotten past LeBron and Wade. No. So that's why I'm just like, it's not even fair to even be having this debate and comparing it like, oh, the 2012 Thunder was just trash, or they was lazy, or they just didn't have that dog mentality or that mama mentality. Come on. It's easy to talk down on them now that the Thunder of 25 is champions and they won and SGA got MVP and all that, but it's different eras. You know what I'm saying? Different times. The Miami Heat was, hell, that was their first chip, right? Yeah, 2012, that was their first chip they got. And that team was ready because they had just lost to, hold on, what's it? No, they lost to, no. They lost to, because they had just lost to Dirk Nowitzki, those, in 2010, I think. Yeah, in 2010, they lost. And then they 2011, they lost in the finals. 2012, they won back-to-back. They beat the Thunder here in 2012, and they beat the Spurs the following year. So, but yeah, that Miami Heat roster was just dangerous. You know what I'm saying? They beat the Thunder in 5. This 25 Thunder team may have probably got one game, or they may have gotten swept. I honestly think they would have got swept. going up against that 2012 Miami Heat team. So don't be so bitter and talking down on the 2012 Thunder like they didn't set the platform or they didn't, set the foundation or whatever like that, or they just wasn't no dogs, Clarence. Like, come on, it's different eras. You know damn well that 25 Thunder team, this year's Thunder team here, will have not stand a chance with that 2012 Miami Heat squad. You know that. All right, so let's stop the disrespect. But like I say, let's stop the disrespect, please. Okay, please stop. But like I said, I like the matchup from both squads, from the 25 Thunder, 2012 Thunder. Like I said, I would love to see how Caruso would match up with KD. Like I said, Ibaka on SGA, Dort on James Harden, Dort on Kevin Durant, Dort on Russell Westbrook, Cephalusha on Jalen Williams. I mean, you can get fun with these matchups and be like, yo, that'll be a tough, cool, interesting matchup to watch. All right. But like I said, if I got to pick one in the best of 7 for both Thunder squads, I'm just going with the 2012 because I just think they're more bigger in size. They more skillful. They got more, James Harden skill. Hell, we talk about three MVPs from this team, ladies and gentlemen. James Harden is a league MVP. Russell Westbrook is a league MVP. Kevin Durant is an MVP. This team got 3 MVPs. This team should have won a championship, but they didn't. Now, they didn't run into LeBron and Wade in the 2012 Heat. They may have gotten a chip. But like I said, you got to look at who they played. Damn well that 25 Thunder roster wouldn't have last chance with, Wade and Braun knows. Come on now. But like I say, the matchups, as I'm looking at the roster here in front of me, I would love to see what some of these matchups would look like. Who can stop who? Who can lock down who? Who can get the most stops? Who can score the most points? SGA, we know he's going to get his, but is it guaranteed that Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren? Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of Chet Holmgren, I didn't know how I missed his name in the matchups, but hell, him on Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins and Hartenstein. Ooh, that would be fun right there to watch. I mean, now that right there, that'd be something interesting to watch right there. That'd be the battle of the bigs. That'd be dope. All right. So, like I said, have fun with this, but don't start disrespecting the 2012 Thunder like they didn't lay the foundation or they didn't got the Thunder, popular and popping like popcorn. Like, don't do them like that. Okay. Because like I say, this 25 Thunder roster is a great team. People call them dynasties already. I don't want to go that far, but like I said, every year a team is different. So that's why I'm saying they're a great team this year. We don't know what they're going to look like next year or year after. But this year here, the 24-25 Thunder, they're a great team. And I would still tell you that they're a great team, even if they didn't win a chip. Even if they didn't win a chip and beat my Pacers, I would have still told you that, this 24-25 roster is a great team. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they last a chance in the best of 7 with Oklahoma City Thunder, that 2012 roster. Because let's be real. Who honestly stopping Kevin Durant? Okay. We know Kevin Durant can get his regardless. Who's stopping Kevin Durant? Who's guarding Ibaka? Non-stop. Because, he can hit the 3, driving in, he can slam dunk. Who's stopping that prime Russell Westbrook? Huh? Who's stopping that prime Russell Westbrook? Who? Dort? I see Dort giving him some problems. Jalen Williams, I see him giving a little bit of problems. But Russ going to get his by any means necessary. You remember that prime Russell Westbrook didn't play no games. Okay? And James Harden off the bench as a 6th man? Woo! And like I said, Derek Fisher, he can come in and knock down some threes, but let's keep it real. This 2012 roster, like I say, they got the better defense. They're more bigger. They're more stronger in the paint. We're talking Big Perk. We're talking Serge Ibaka. Who's going to stop them in the paint? Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Hartenstein. He's going to get in foul trouble. All right. So before I close out, I got to close out with this here. I saw something crazy on Twitter X, and it pissed me off. Kind of more in a laughable way, like, what the hell? a lot of people, a lot of Thunder fans, non-Thunder fans are saying that SGA is the best Thunder player of all time. Are you kidding me? That still belongs to Kevin Durant. Until SGA can get 2 championships, he got an MVP. He had a great season, won MVP and a chip in the same year. Well, let's be real. Kevin Durant got 2 chips. Oh, wait, Clarence, he didn't. Come on, bro. He didn't got his 2 chips with Thunder, though, man. He went to OKC. I mean, he left OKC and went to Golden State, man. He went to the Warriors and got those 2 rings. He went to the Warriors and got those. I think Kevin Durant got what, 2 Finals MVP as well. But either way, he's still his resume. That stacked the resume up. And even if you don't want to include Golden State, if you want to just stack Kevin Durant, OKC Thunder career up against SGA, I'm still going with Kevin Durant. Now, there may be some categories that you may find, pull up and say, hey, man, look at these stats, bro. SGA is way better in this category, in that category, in that category. Okay, but how many categories Kevin Durant is better at? How many years we talking? You know, how many years have Kevin Durant stayed in OKC versus how many years at SGA? That's what I'm saying. Like, we got to see how it pair out. Now, let's say SGA never leave the Thunder. Maybe once he retired, or maybe once he actually caught up with Kevin Durant for his amount of years in OKC. Because I don't even think SGA has even, 5 years of Thunder yet. I don't think. I think SGA got to Thunder in, was it 19? With that trade from the Clippers, I think. It was 2019. So SGA haven't even been in a Thunder uniform as long as Kevin Durant has. So let's wait till he at least gets to that level, and then we can compare the Thunder Kevin Durant stats up against SGA stats, with both of them being in the Thunder uniform the same amount of years. Because remember, Kevin Durant left the Thunder in 2016. I want to say, yeah. So, and SGA came in, I want to say 2019. I could be wrong, either 18 or 19. So I think it's best to wait to do that comparison as far as who the best Thunder of all time. I'm just giving it to Kevin Durant because the man put Thunder on his back. Okay. The man put the Thunder on his back. It was a different era. And I'm going to just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying SGA is in an easier era, but let's not act like Kevin Durant didn't try. Let's not pretend like Kevin Durant didn't put Oklahoma City Thunder on his back. You know, from Seattle Supersonics to the Thunder, that man was the greatest. You know what I'm saying? They respect him. You know, they ain't the greatest Supersonic. You know, we can talk Gary Payton, we can talk Sean Kemp, or we can talk even players that came before Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. But when it comes to that Thunder uniform, because I know a lot of you Supersonic fans or former Sonics fans, some of you don't claim Thunder, some of you do. I think that's crazy because I would, I don't even know. Because if my Pacers was to leave Indiana and go to another city, I don't know whether I would be still a Pacer fan. I don't know. Maybe I will. But as far as that Thunder uniform, I think Kevin Durant right now is the best Thunder of all time. But like I say, that could change. You know, once SGA get at least 5, 8 seasons, 9 seasons, 10 seasons in, he's still with the Thunder and he got all these accomplished. Now you can say, man, SGA the best. But until then, I think it's Kevin Durant's. It's his spot. You know what I'm saying? It's his spot. But yeah, like I said, both rosters are good. If it was a best of 7, I got 2012 Thunder in 6 games. I don't even think it'll go to 7. That 2012 roster, them boys just too big. They too long. Sevolution, Serge Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins, Reggie Jackson can D you up. He can lock you down. He can go for a 15, 20, 25, 30-point game. How many players off this 25 roster that I call out can actually be consistent? You know, Jalen Williams, Dort, he'll stay in the corner and hit a 3. But this Thunder team would not leave him open like how my Pacers did. I hate that. We left Dort open a lot of times, and he just kept knocking them threes down. But the 2012 Thunder wouldn't make the same mistakes that we made. They wouldn't leave Dort open. They wouldn't leave Caruso open. They would take these players seriously. They wouldn't be afraid of Hartenstein because they got Big Perk. Okay, Big Perk, Big Perk, not Miles Turner. No disrespect. So Hartenstein wouldn't be able to do all that backing down and float over Big Perk and Serge Ibaka. Can you imagine Serge Ibaka on Hartenstein? Hartenstein won't get no points. Maybe a free throw. All right. Well, that's my take on it. And like I said, have fun with this. If you're a Thunder fan, stop chiming in. You champs. You know what I'm saying? You got a good 2012 roster that could have probably won the finals if they didn't ran into LeBron and Wade. And you won it this year. You beat my Pacers. Be happy you got a chip. You got SGA, arguably the best player in the league. You know what I'm saying? This could be the start of you guys' dynasty. I hope it's not. I'm just saying, but it could be the start of your dynasty. So why waste your time trying to, make a fuss about why the 25 Thunder is better than the 2012 or why the 2012 Thunder is better than the 25? Oh, they didn't got a chip. They couldn't get it done. And like I just said a few minutes ago, you think that this 25 roster Thunder could get it done against the 2012 Heat? Damn, I wish we had a time machine. I wish we had a time machine. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Remember, Twitter @ Clarence Jones, Instagram _ Clarence Jones, YouTube channel Clarence Jones TV. Subscribe to my channel. I'll subscribe to your channel. Follow me on those platforms. I'll follow you back on your platforms. And hey, let's do it again next week. And like I say, if you care to chime in, let me know what you're thinking. Hit me up on social media, on the YouTube channel. Email me up, playprogressgo.com/contact. Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? What squad do you got? If it's like in a best of 7, who you got winning it? Like I said, I'm going with the 2012 in 6 games. I think that roster just would beat them. They got the better starters. They got the better bench. They got the most consistent players. And they got 3 MVPs, ladies and gentlemen. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. Now, I know they all went MVPs during that time, but we see what they end up becoming. So that just tells me the talent that they had in 2012, those were MVP players. Sam Presti should be proud of himself. General manager of OKC Thunder, he got us all arguing over something that can never happen. We don't got a time machine. We'll never know unless we play 2K. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And we'll do it again next week. Peace.